Hey everyone, so in today's video, I'm going to be holding accountable and calling out a lot of influencers, TikTokers, YouTubers, all of those people for not taking this pandemic seriously and for just spreading a really bad message to their audience and why a lot of their supporters need to stop enabling them. And so yeah, if you want to hear me talk about that, continue watching this video. So let's first start talking about the party with TikTokers and YouTubers.
That large gatherings are frowned upon and large events are still not allowed as LA prepares for another potential full-on shutdown. But that couldn't stop Nikita Dragon from throwing a massive party for her bestie Lorraine, and she didn't appear to hide the fact that they had a reason to celebrate.
I can't speak for anybody else, but yeah, that's just not the move right now.
Literally, we have a global pandemic going on, and so that's like not okay. There was no one wearing masks, or I believe it was like majority of people were not wearing masks. And apparently, according to Nikita, who was like the one who this was like her idea, and she was like the organizer of all of this, she said most of the people that lived there, or I guess were quarantined there, I'm not really too sure. And apparently, most people got tested. Now, most people, keyword most people, or majority of people, not everyone. Meaning there could have been someone there that got the virus, who had the virus and was asymptomatic. It could spread it to a ton of people, and there was a lot of people at this party, like definitely over 50 people. That's way too many. Over 10 is too many. So imagine over 50. That's just not okay. Yeah, and Tyler Oakley, who if you don't know is a YouTuber, called them out via Twitter. I will include his tweet here. The tweet says, "Hi James, Nikita, Tana, Barry, Charlie, Dixie, and any others who have been partying in large groups, please consider social distancing, mask wearing, and using your huge platforms to encourage responsibility during a worldwide pandemic." And I 100% agree with this entire tweet. A little note from Editing Maddie, I'd also like to point out some of the other people who went to this party were people in the Hype House, people in the Way House, which are TikTok groups, along with YouTubers such as Emma Chamberlain and Tana Mongeau, along with many others, and also the people mentioned in that tweet. So make sure you hold them all accountable, please and thank you. And one of the people who happened to be at this party was Tana Mongeau. Now if you don't know, she's very problematic for a multitude of reasons, and one of them being she has not taken this pandemic seriously despite having made a foundation and a charity for people in need due to the pandemic. Like, she's been like traveling to like Florida, which if you don't know is a coronavirus hotspot, and I don't know if she's been traveling to other places, but even just going to Florida, which I assume she went on a plane, which cross-contamination in airports and on planes is not it. And so yeah, that's just not okay. And apparently she's been going out and clubbing and like the parties and stuff, and then she's going to this TikTok party. Plus the amount of people, if she has coronavirus, she could infect so many people. She could easily become infected by someone at the party. Does it surprise me? No. But if this is really just yeah. But now let's move on. We talked about Tana, we talked about everyone else, so now I'm gonna talk about Adelaine Morin. Okay, so Adelaine has been traveling between Canada and the USA, which are the two places that she lives in. She's from Canada, but then moved to LA, and LA is a COVID hotspot. Now, she's been doing this throughout the pandemic, which isn't good because, you know, if you're traveling on a plane for non-essential reasons, especially if you're traveling from one country to another, it's not okay, and I'm pretty sure now that's like not allowed anymore. I'm not 100% sure, it's bound to change. But yeah, she's been traveling between both places and not properly quarantined, going from one to another, and to make matters worse, she went to Greece, which if you don't know, Greece is in Europe. Also, another note from Editing Maddie here is that other people that went on this trip with Adelaine Morin were YouTuber MyFam and Brianna Renee. But yeah, they also went on this trip, so they also should be held accountable to the fullest degree. Very far from North America, very far from Canada and the USA for that matter. So now she's not only going to a different country, but a different continent. Even more cross-contamination, even more possible germ spread, and even more higher chance of her or other people getting corona. And this is not at all a good thing. It's unsafe, it's unsanitary. So yeah, basically she just hasn't been taking all proper precaution, and apparently she's been saying, oh well, you know, Canada has low case numbers, or like Greece also has like low case numbers, but what she's not saying is that the USA, specifically LA, where she lived part-time, does not have low case numbers, and so that's an issue there. And so the more people that hold these people accountable, the better, hopefully. Now let's talk about a couple more people who definitely haven't been getting as much accountability, and not as many people have been calling these people out, which is why I really want to touch on these two people in the video. Now we're going to be talking about Caroline Manning. Now here's the thing, I want to preface this. Caroline Manning is actually 16, so partially her parents are at fault, or because they should not be letting her, you know, out travel for non-essential reasons during a pandemic. Her parents are definitely at fault here. So basically, like, she went and flew on a plane and flew to, I believe it was Arkansas, to see some friends, and I believe they like all hung out and stuff, and like the thing is, prior to that, she had been like seeing friends and stuff and people she didn't live with. She was like social distancing with them, and these were like taken during the pandemic before that trip. And then she went on this trip. She just hadn't been taken it seriously this entire time either. Like in the very beginning of the pandemic, she had a whole birthday party. Wow, birthday parties are a reoccurring theme in this video. And here's the thing, that was in the very beginning of times that like the USA was starting to get COVID, and people were starting to realize that COVID was coming to the US. And like shortly before or after, around the time that schools were starting to shut down, like this was like around spring break, she had like her birthday party, and she had like friends over and like relatives and stuff, and none of whom lived with her, by the way. So maybe where she lived, there weren't that many cases yet. I really don't know. The minute that like her state reopened, which is like, or like the week her state reopened, which was like beginning of May, and she lives in Texas, so Texas is also one of the states that has a lot of COVID cases. I don't know if like her particular city or town in Texas has the cases, but it's just. And then recently, like a week or two ago or so, she went on a trip to California, specifically the Bay Area, which is where I live, and she visited her elderly grandparents, which she said, you know, you only have so much time, so why not like visit them now while you still can? We're in a pandemic, so elderly folks are at higher risk for COVID. Unless you know for a fact you don't have COVID and the people you are going with don't have COVID, you should not be going on that trip, especially via plane. But even if you and the people you're going with don't, it's very possible you could come in contact with someone on the plane, in the airport, you know, due to cross-contamination, who does have COVID. And you just don't want to be giving COVID to your loved ones. It's just not a good idea, especially if they're at risk. So yeah, basically she hasn't been taking this seriously, and I really do think it is also, like, it is partially her fault, but it's also like her parents' fault as well. The next person we'll be talking about, who is Fiona Frills, who also hasn't been taking the pandemic seriously. I noticed that in the middle of the pandemic, I don't remember when exactly, but she went to Florida. I don't know if Florida was a corona hotspot at that point, but either way, she does live, I believe, in the Bay or in NorCal, Northern California. So for her to be flying all the way, she flew, by the way, all the way across the country to Florida on a plane, again, cross-contamination. And Florida and California both have a lot of COVID cases. So yeah, I'm just gonna like leave it at that. Also, something I really want to mention is so many of these influencers, literally their job, they can work from home. Of all people, staying home should be the easiest for them, because their job prior to the pandemic have been a work at home job, like a stay at home job. They could do it at home. They could do it elsewhere, but they could do it at home. And the fact that they're like out here going to parties when they could easily be staying home, like why is it so hard? Like, I don't even know what it is. I mean, and it's like not even that, but why is it so hard for some of these people to wear masks? Or, oh my goodness, something that I've noticed is people will wear masks, but they won't social distance. You gotta do both as much as you can. I'm aggravated, y'all. I'm aggravated. They're so selfish for doing this. They're so selfish for spreading such a bad message to the audience. To be like, oh, you know, wear masks, stay home, only to do the complete opposite. They are hypocrites in one of the worst ways possible, and it's possibly deadly. Their bad behavior is not only bad, but it could cost someone their life. So think twice before you support this. Now we're going to talk about some people on the internet not holding their faves accountable. Let me tell you this. If you are supportive of their behavior, please comment why. Please comment why you're supportive of their behavior. Maybe it's because I misspoke about something here. Maybe I did. Please correct me if I did. Also, everybody, please don't be afraid to hold your faves accountable. If you see your faves doing stuff like this or any other problematic behavior, hold them accountable. And if they don't do anything about it, despite people holding them accountable, that could definitely tell you something about that person. You should probably maybe stop supporting them. I know that can be hard. Come on now. I don't know. I'm just gonna tell you that, like, if I see my fave do something like really bad like this, you know I'm probably going to start supporting them. And some of these people in this video I used to support, and now I see this stuff and I see their, you know, shenanigans of taking the pandemic seriously, and I'm like, no, that ain't it. That ain't it, y'all. If anyone who I mentioned in this video is watching this, just know that I really hope that you are going to do the right thing and do what you can going forward to keep yourself and those around you safe. And I really hope that y'all are trying to do what you can and just send a good message to your audience. So yeah, and yeah, those are my thoughts on that. I know I probably left a lot of people out, so feel free to comment anyone else who needs to be held accountable, call them out. Obviously, don't like be mean about it, be real about it. I hope you got something out of this video. Tell me what you think of all of this. I would love to know. Yeah, if you want to see more from me, don't forget to subscribe. I post like teen lifestyle videos along with the occasional commentary / sit down video like this one. If you haven't seen my last few videos, definitely go check those out. And also follow my Instagram, which is at the Maddie Insider, just like my channel. And also follow my Twitter, which is at I'm Maddie Cattu, which is IMMADDIECATU. And yeah, those are my social medias. Hopefully y'all will go check me out on there. I'm very active on each and every one of the ones I've mentioned. And also comment down below. I really do want to hear all of y'all's thoughts on this, and we can have like a discussion. That would be really fun. Yeah, with all that said, I will see you guys in my next video, hopefully. Bye guys, and I will see you guys next time.